Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining today's training, Business at the Speed of AI Content Creation. I'm Rebecca Chauncey, Interim Director for the Illinois Small Business Development Center, or SBDC at Bill Bronzeville. This training is brought to you at no cost because it's funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the United States Small Business Administration, or the USSBA, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and locally by Urban Juncture Foundation. Please note that if you have any questions today, you should type them in the Q&A section, which you'll see if you hover over the bottom of your screen. I will address questions in the moment, and then there will also be time for a Q&A at the end of the presentation. So today's focus, we first want to go over some important definitions. This is actually the third or final Business at the Speed of AI training that we've had throughout the series that took place from February through this month. So in each session, pardon me for those of you that are aware of some of the definitions that I brought up before, but I think it's important to level set because some of the participants today didn't join the first two sessions. So we'll go over some important definitions related to artificial intelligence. Then we'll talk about some tools for your consideration. I'll mention a helpful checklist, and then as you heard me say a moment ago, there'll be time for Q&A. So let's start with a couple of definitions. Artificial intelligence, I'm sure you've heard it at least once by now. It generally speaking deals with computer programs that can complete cognitive tasks typically associated with human intelligence. An AI tool is an AI-powered software that can automate or assist users with a variety of tasks. An example of that is ChatGPT. A couple of other important definitions for your consideration are human in the loop approach. This is a term that I use often because, yes, AI has been very helpful, and AI tools in particular are very helpful as entrepreneurs, like you, want to maximize their time. But there's nothing like your own intelligence, right? So that human in the loop approach has to do with a combination of machine and human intelligence to train, use, verify, and refine AI models. And those AI models ultimately are what you see when you use AI tools like ChatGPT. So just remember that you as the human too, right? You have intelligence. And so just because you see certain outputs when using AI tools, you should still verify what you're seeing and know whether or not it makes sense for what you're doing and in particular for your business. And then prompt engineering. That is the process of designing input instructions in an AI model to get the most relevant results or outputs. And I see we've had more people that joined since the training started. Just want to make the point that if you have questions today, feel free to type them in the Q&A section. If relevant in the moment, I'll address them. And there will also be time at the end of the training for Q&A. And welcome to those of you that just joined. So speaking of prompt engineering, this is important to note. When you think of good prompts, first, to save time, you can save or screenshot your successful prompts. Create templates for successful prompts so you can edit slightly each time. You'll see in a moment when I go through some real examples how even the change of one word may shift the output that you'll receive when using an AI tool. Also, when you talk about prompts, they can sometimes be sensitive, as I mentioned, to small changes and may produce different results for the same prompt on repeated attempts. But it's okay to run a prompt multiple times. So this is what you're here for today, content creation, and we're going to ultimately use AI powered tools to create social media posts, ad copy, and videos. And for your consideration in this session, I want you to look at ChatGPT, or we're going to look at ChatGPT and Claude. Give me a moment as I share the screen. Just do me a favor. Someone can raise their hand. Let me know that, just confirm that you can see my screen showing Claude right now. If not, I want to make sure. Okay, fantastic. Appreciate that. All right, so know that as usual, when you see that I'm using a free plan, and you certainly can purchase a paid subscription to Claude. Now, I want you to notice the difference, right? I'll be showing you how using different prompts will allow you to generate some content that you may use for your business. But for Claude, it will be with the free plan. And when we use ChatGPT, will be using a paid plan. As you can imagine, when you have the subscription, right, to most, if not all, platforms, you receive a little more, right? Or not a little, you will receive more insight and more access to information. So just keep that in mind. So this first example I want to share with you, we're going to the prompt. So this is prompt engineering in real time, right? So I'm going to say that I'm going to act as an e-commerce women's accessories business owner and create an Instagram, sure, post about now being the best time to buy jewelry for spring outfits. And let's see, we're going to compare what Claude says versus ChatGPT. So you see it's quick, literally in seconds. You can see what's recommended. Look, spring jewelry alert. It's that time of year, ladies. As the weather warms up, those spring outfits are coming out of hibernation, and they're just begging for the perfect accessories to make them pop. Right now is absolutely the best moment to refresh your jewelry collection. Our new spring line just dropped with pieces that complement everything from flowy dresses to those crisp white tees you love. The pastel gemstones and delicate gold chains in our collection were designed specifically for spring vibes. Plus, this weekend only, 15% off all floral inspired pieces with code Bloom24. And so I won't read all of this, but you see, this saves you a lot of time. Now, that for those of you that like to create your own drafts first, and then if you were to plug it into or drop it into Claude and say, enhance this, you could do that as well. But in the interest of time and for today, I'm just going to actually create my own prompts, right? And have the AI tools create posts for us and video. So we want to take this a step to another level rather. And now I'm going to, so, initially, let me remind you that I asked that it create an Instagram post about this. Let's now ask that it create an ad so I will say, use the same information to create an Instagram. Sorry, this is in my way. An Instagram ad. Let's see what happens. So you see there's some slight changes, right? And it explains, what it has done. Um, you also, if you click on this document, let's see. I thought it would open to, it should have, but for some reason it's not showing the document, but essentially it would look similar to this, but then look at what it's asking you. Would you like me to modify anything about the ad's tone or focus? And you certainly could do that. On the flip side, let's see what ChatGPT says for the same thing, right? We're going to act as that as an e-commerce women's accessories business owner. And I just want you to notice the differences. And what you may find is that you may want to combine what you see on both, using both AI tools for your copy, or, for your ad. So we said create an Instagram post about now being the best time to buy jewelry for spring outfits. So remember this, I'm using a paid ChatGPT account. Let's see. Okay, so this is pretty, if you notice something, I would say that this is shorter, right, than what we saw on Claude, right? So look, there's no better time to refresh your jewelry box than right now. As the days get longer and the layers get lighter, it's your time to shine, literally. And then, it says more and highlighting things like free shipping on orders, over $50, limited stock, don't wait. The style tip, match gold tones with soft pastels for an effortlessly chic look. And then those hashtags. But then look at what it says. Would you like it formatted for a story as well, or need a product carousel caption? Let's just say yes. Um, I know this is a little different from what I did before, but check out what it shows for an Instagram story. And most of you, if not all of you, are most likely aware of Instagram stories being quite popular. Some might say they're more popular than post at this point, but look at, so it recommends how you can use 3 to 5 story slides and what's on that, right? The first slide is a teaser. Spring is calling. Is your jewelry game ready? The second slide would be the product close up, meet your favorite new necklace, right? So you could take a picture of what that's going to look like. And then the third slide is a call to action. Now's the best time to buy, and the fact that one can pair our pieces with your spring wardrobe before they sell out, right? So there's a sense of urgency with this last slide where it says limited stock left. The gold hoops will go with everything. And look at that, happy customer. In other words, that's a great place for you to list a testimonial, right? Something brief. And then they give a carousel caption. I won't read through that, but you see what happens when, so that's one example, right? And that's the e-commerce, a women's accessory business owner. Let's go, well, you know what? Let's stay here actually. And now let's ask it to act as the business owner who sells cakes to, um, I'm saying not to act as a business owner who sells cakes and create a Facebook post now with a call to action to buy birthday cakes. Let's see what ChatGPT says. in seconds, right? Literally in seconds. So this saves you a lot of time. Again, if you are the creative type, and I certainly celebrate people who actually you still want the words about your company, right? And even when it comes to social media, for example, you want to make sure it's authentically you. So once again, I'm not going to give that example, but you could take the time to write something out and then ask ChatGPT or Claude, for example, whatever AI tool you use to edit or enhance what you've written. But look at, with the prompt engineering is what I want you to really look at today, and how it looks, how we changing just a word or two or using certain language produces certain things. So here, based on what I showed, right, or what I added initially, my input was again, act as the business owner who sells cakes and create a Facebook post with a call to action to buy birthday cakes. So it says, here's a warm, engaging Facebook post tailored for your cake business, encouraging people to order birthday cakes with a strong call to action. Make their birthday unforgettable, right? Nothing says I love you like a cake that's baked with heart, frosted with joy, and made just for them. Whether you're planning a party or a surprise, our custom birthday cakes are the perfect centerpiece for any celebration. Then look at it has some images there that you may want to add, and then custom designs, right? Fresh premium ingredients. Think of and whatever is relevant for your business. I did my best today to highlight a few different industries that a number or most of our clients fall under. So that was the inspiration for the today's prompts, just so you know. So you can insert a number, right? It encourages you to call or encourages people to call the number to place an order or book fast, right? And you certainly could link you could link to your website so people could place their orders there. Then it asks, would you like me to tweak it for a different cake theme or offer a design for a Facebook ad too? Let's go ahead and say yes to that and see what happens. So this is the ad that they're recommending. Design your dream birthday cake, right? And that's your header. It's got the body text, and then the call to action. On Another example is here, they suggest that you use bright pastels or fun confetti background, and then it'll ask, would you want me to mock up a few actual caption variations for carousel slides or suggest video scripts? We're not going to do that just yet because I now want to see, I want you to see if, I know I've been typing these, but let me just copy this actually. And paste this now into Claude. Let's see what happens if and what Claude says. So, so it's different, right? Birthday magic happens here. Hey, cake lovers, just wanted to remind you that we're here to make your special day absolutely delicious. And I won't read through all of this, but you see it's essentially saying, highlighting those benefits, right, of purchasing a cake from your company, made from scratch with premium ingredients, fully customizable designs and flavors, available in various sizes, and you change this based on what makes sense for your business. Um, then let's see. I'm going to add, so remember how earlier I mentioned how just changing one word can make things different. So this time I'm going to say, what will one word that we will change. Let's just say to buy cakes. How with after, let's see, the next holiday, Mother's Day. Let me see. To buy cakes for Mother's Day. Let's see what that generates. Okay, so once again, there's some highlights, right, of what the types of cakes that your company makes, but they highlight specific flavors. And if when considering your business, you would change this so that it represents whatever cakes you actually serve. Moms deserve the best, as it says. What says I love you better than a gorgeous handcrafted cake? Our Mother's Day collection is now available for pre-order, right? So you can get those pre-orders in. It's no time like the present, right? So there's a sense of urgency. Look at order by May 5th to guarantee delivery for Mother's Day weekend. So there's a demand. And so you've got your hashtags there too. Um, so it's just cool to see those differences. Now let's act as well, and we'll stay here in Claude. Let's see what happens when we seek to create a video. So act as a podcast studio owner and create, let's say, a 45-second video um, about subscribing for how about I say that? About purchasing a monthly membership at 10% off. Um, let's see what happens. So you see, here's the script in seconds. It's amazing, right? And explaining, why this works, right? This script is timed to fit within 45 seconds when read at a conversational pace. Would you like me to make any adjustments to the tone, benefits, highlighted, or visual elements described? So you see what it's recommending here, that you have the host is saying, calling all podcasters and content creators for a limited time. We're offering 10% off all monthly memberships at Soundwave Studios. And you certainly would change this according to your business name. Get unlimited access to our professional grade equipment, soundproof recording booths, and editing suites that will take your podcast to the next level. And then the host will say, whether you're just starting out or ready to scale your show, our monthly memberships includes. And look at the benefits of this: 24/7 studio access, professional audio engineering support, free workshop access, networking events with industry pros. And then there's this urgency, right? You need this 10% discount ends on the 30th. So it's like you need to get this now, or ultimately you're going to miss out on the deal. And so, just in the interest of time, I won't say that I wanted to make any adjustments, but you see how quickly that script is created. We're going to do the same thing now. You probably get where I'm going with this, using Chat GPT. And let's see what the output is for that. So look at what they're suggesting. This works great for a social reel, TikTok, or website promo. So they're even giving you suggestions as to where you place the video, and noting what the script is. The tone is confident, energetic, professional. Your background, the studios and action, people recording, mics, editing spaces. And so they have the opening scene. I won't read through all of this, but you get how this works, right? You insert your studio name. We offer everything you need: top tier audio equipment, video capabilities, editing support, and a community of creators. And right now, get 10% off your monthly membership when you sign up. Um, and then they show you, click the link to grab your discount and book your studio time. Let's build your voice, your brand, your story. So you notice, unlike Claude pushing for, or not pushing, but encouraging people to make their purchase by the 30th of this month. This doesn't, ChatGPT is not suggesting that. But this is where, to my earlier point, you may want to take or use a combination of what you see on one AI tool. So some of what you see on ChatGPT, and then part of what you see on Claude to create your own video script. And then there are other platforms, actually. I won't get into those today, but I recommend you could use ChatGPT or Claude to say what are the best sites to create AI videos, and you can see what comes up. You could also Google that too. But ultimately, I wanted you to be able to see what happens when you use the different prompts, right? Prompt engineering to create the proper output and what that looks like when it comes to creating content for your company. Let's go back to the slide deck. So I didn't see any questions. So the helpful checklist, you will receive a checklist. I'll email this. It ultimately is, I've shared it throughout the series, but it is a list of AI tools and solutions that can help you streamline your operations, improve customer experiences, and save time. And you can, as it says, use the checklist to identify areas where AI can help improve efficiency in your business. This, as I mentioned at the beginning of our session, we are officially done with the Business at the Speed of AI series. So appreciate you for joining us today, and for those of you rather, who attended each session. We started by going over administrative productivity, how you can use AI tools for that, with an emphasis on Google Workspace, because most of our clients use Google Workspace in their businesses. So it was important to use that. And then we talked about how you can use AI tools for brainstorming and strategizing. And then lastly, what we did today, content creation. So keep all of those in mind. Like I said there, you can use one or more of these to increase your business efficiency. That's what it's all about. Because while, if you in particular are not, and I have a number of clients who are not big fans of social media. So by creating content, using AI tools to create social media posts, like the examples I gave today, it makes all the difference for a number of our clients. And it may be that case for you too. If you're not already a client with us, please feel free to sign up. The same area where you signed up to attend this training, you can actually become a client. And also, you can email us or visit our website there, or give us a call. Ultimately, though, to become a client, you will have to do that you'll have to do that online through the website that you see there, billbrownsville.com/SBDC. Are there any questions before we end today? Any questions? I didn't see any in the chat. I appreciate your engagement and truly hope that this was helpful. You will receive a survey about today's training. Please complete that. There's also space for you to add your thoughts about, or to add recommendations for future training. We love to provide training that is really relevant for entrepreneurs like you, that you can apply instantly or as soon as possible to enhance your business. And you'll get a recording of this too. You'll get a link to this recording and the checklist that I showed you and mentioned a few moments ago will be in that follow-up email as well. Thanks again for your time and attention. Here's to continued business success, and use AI wisely, right? Remember that human in the loop approach, and have a great rest of your day and weekend. Thank you.